So in 2011, I signed on the dotted lines and I got this place, which I'm recording in now. I wanted my own space. I wanted to do my own things when I wanted to do them. You know, I didn't want someone there to be going, oh my God, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I'm just like, you know, feck off kind of thing. So I wanted my own place. So I came in. I always remember on the first day that I got this place, I had been down to the office where you have to sign and they give you the keys. And I remember coming up here, letting myself in, and obviously when I signed for this place, it was just kind of a shell. You know, the walls weren't painted, there was no curtains, there was no carpet, there was nothing, it was empty. I remember just walking around and just being like, this place is mine. And I was really happy with it. Over the next couple of weeks, obviously, you know, my brother was a massive help in trying to get this place kind of set up for me. You know, my mum's friends, my friends, kind of everyone clubbed together and we all helped to kind of, you know, get the walls painted, get the floors cleaned and move stuff in and, you know, that kind of thing. And it was a really good time. You know, I felt really supported and it was just a really, really good time. And obviously I wanted to be putting my part in as well. You know, when you've kind of got like a group of people here and, you know, they're helping you, what I found was that I was the one kind of making the teas and the coffees, and if someone said, oh, I need such and such a brush, I'd be the one to go and get it, and, you know, that kind of thing. And obviously I wanted to do my own thing with it. So there was a thing, I was in here one night and I had a digital camera with me. Now, when I first moved in, the electric meter, it is only electric here, there is no gas, apart from what I generate. I remember being in one night and when I first moved in, the electric meter was on a key meter, which is basically you have a little key, which is like kind of like a SIM card, like what you put in a mobile. It's like one of them, but on a stick. And you go into a shop and you say, can I have £10 on it or something like that? They top up that stick and then you go and stick it in the electric meter and you get £10 worth of electric. Or allegedly, it's complicated. So I'd come in. I'd had the radio on. I think I can't remember exactly what I'd done on the night in question, but I know that I was waiting for my mum to come and get me, and obviously me still kind of wanting to show everyone, you know, like kind of the progress as to what's happening here. I went round, I was taking photographs of the place, and I got to the hallway. Now, when you come into my flat, you come straight into the hallway, and on the right-hand side there's the door for the bathroom, on the left-hand side there's the door for the bedroom, and straight ahead of you is the living room. So I was kind of stood near, like the bathroom door was there, bathroom door was like there, so I'm kind of like stood about halfway in the bathroom door. And then I've got the bedroom door open on my left and I'm taking a picture looking straight forward. Now, I don't know why I didn't look, but I wasn't alone. Something was with me. I remember seeing something in the bathroom, just like a little white ball is the only way I can describe it, but not like a hard ball, like a just kind of like a soft glow. And I remember seeing it in the bathroom, and I'm getting ready to take this photograph. You know, like I've kind of got my finger resting on the button, it's focusing itself, that kind of ready. And I remember feeling it, that it came out of the bathroom, it went round my back and into the bedroom. And I remember thinking, that's not right, I'm not by myself. Weirdest thing is, I remember thinking, I'm not by myself here, but I didn't feel scared by it. And that's really weird, because I love being scared anyway, and I know that kind of shit would freak me out. But I didn't feel scared. It was just weird. And I took the photograph. There's nothing out of the ordinary on the photograph. And I did go into the bedroom. There was nothing there. It was just one of them experiences where you're just like, that's a little bit not right. So fast forward a couple of months later, I'd moved in. I was living here, and things were going okay. You know, I was getting more stuff into the flat, and you know, I was wanting to help people now because I had a bit of spare time. And a couple contacted me because they wanted help with a it was kind of like an iPad rip-off. I think it's called the iPad or something like that, and it basically wasn't working. And they said, you know, do you know anything like how to fix it? And I was like, well, I don't really know, but I can have a go. I can have a look. Anyway, I went round to theirs, and they, you know, obviously were finding out about each other, and they told me that they were spiritualists. Now, prior to this, I had already been to a spiritualist church. I'd never got picked out to have a reading done. I'd never had anyone communicate with me or anything like that. So I'd seen it happen. I did think at the time, you know, okay, yeah, there is certain things you just can't know that information, and it's very unlikely that would be a lucky guess. But yeah, so they told me about this. They told me about, you know, like some of the readings that they've had and that sort of thing. And yeah, so I couldn't fix it there and then. So I brought it back with me. I tried over the next couple of days, and eventually just had to message him and say, listen, I can't get any apps onto this. It's just not happening for me. I'll bring it back. So I took it back, and I was sat in, I think I was having a coffee or something like that. And the fella was sat kind of next to me. And Gwen, his wife, was in the kitchen. And she came out of the kitchen and she said, do you live by yourself? And I said, yeah. And she said, right, I keep wanting to do this. And she kept like putting her hands kind of not on her stomach, but like, you know, like a front pocket that you'd have on like a hoodie or something like that, like putting your hands in there. And she described it like a pinny. And then she said about this sense of cooking, and the smell was wonderful, and always baking. This woman is always baking, and she started to tell me about this woman who's always baking, and you never leave the house hungry. You might come in hungry, but you won't leave hungry. And then she said something which it was kind of a little upsetting, but I think when it sunk in, it was kind of like, okay, I get that. And she said it was something like, this woman who is with you, she disapproves of something, but she loves you anyway. And I'm like, I think I know what that is. Now, this is obviously going to sound really strange to some people. I get that, but I know from her talking about her years ago, my nana has often said about her mother. Now, my great grandmother was always in the kitchen. She would always be baking like fresh bread in the morning, apple pies, sausage rolls, whatever it was. You know, she was always baking and always cooking and that sort of thing. And she did always used to say to people, you know, are you hungry? You know, you'll never leave this house hungry, kind of thing. And she always used to wear a pinny. And after I said about this to my nana actually said, well, yeah, she always used to put her hands would be in the pinny, you know. And I'm like, right, okay, that's a little bit on the odd side. But while I was there, and she said about this thing of, you know, she doesn't approve of something about you, but she loves you regardless. And I was kind of like, well, I think that is to do with my sexuality. You know, my great grandmother would have been brought up in a completely different time to me. You know, when she was brought up, homosexuality was more than a mental illness. You know, it could get you killed. Not only sent to prison, like this shit carried the death sentence and that kind of thing. That was the world that she was brought up in. So, you know, maybe she was brought up in that kind of situation. But I know from my modern day family that, you know, it's one of them things. You can, no matter what you do, no matter what you choose, your family always love you, and that's kind of the motto of the family. You know, we help each other out and that kind of thing. It's a great vibe, but I'm not going to go on about my family anyway. So I was like, okay, that would make sense. So she doesn't approve of my sexuality, but she loves me anyway, because, you know, there is obviously this family thing. So I don't think it's known by many people, but I will often sit here and if I feel like a cold spot, which does happen quite a lot in this place, then I kind of know who it is, and I don't feel freaked out by it. I really don't. I have spoken to her sometimes, not like sat down and had a cup of tea with her, kind of spoken to her, but you know, like when was it now? It was only a couple of weeks ago, and I was in the bedroom and I felt a cold spot in the bedroom. I think I was cleaning it out or something like that, and I think I went to walk over to the wardrobe, and there was just this cold spot that I walked through, and I knew straight away, and I was like, oh, hello, and that was it. And, you know, you can walk back, the cold spot's gone. It's the most bizarre thing, but it kind of feels a little bit comforting. As far as like paranormal things happening in here, then no, them things don't really happen. I personally believe that I have been visited by my granddad, because I have, on this very couch where I am sat, I have had the smell of like a tobacco pipe, and it's. I think if my nana hadn't have spoken up about her experience with it and been able to explain, you know, your granddad was the only one who ever smoked a pipe, then I probably would just be like, well, what the hell is on fire? You know, like, oh shit, have the electric's gone wrong? You know, like, I'm gonna die. But, you know, getting that smell and then being able to associate it with someone is kind of like a little bit comforting. So yeah, so I quite possibly have my grandparents living with me, but they don't pay rent. It's a little bit harsh, isn't it? So, just before I finish off this second part, I will clarify this for some people. Although I do believe in some sort of an afterlife, and, you know, I do believe that I get haunted and this weird kind of thing happens to me, I don't believe in your typical thing that you would see in a film. You know, the amount of films these days that are coming out where the storylines are near enough the same. You know, there's someone haunting me. Let's get a team in who can video the house 24 hours. We'll put secret cameras all over the place, and they're going to capture everything, and then we're going to put it in a film even though everyone's dead in the film. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I think it makes a good film. But that's not what I choose to believe in. When it does come to the afterlife, people have different experiences, they have different beliefs, and sometimes I can sit there and be like, okay, you're making that up. There is no way that shit would happen. Other times, you've genuinely got to wonder if that person has been visited, and if so, who is it? But, and this is a big but, if you do ever feel that you are getting visited by someone, unless they are like physically hurting you, you know, if you only feel a cold spot, don't be afraid to say hello to them, because if it is someone that's come back to visit you from the afterlife, they probably mean you no harm.